The organization for the past 5 years bids farewell and makes way for his successor, Captain Floyd Moxey. Join the ZNS Network on Thursday, May 8th at 9:30 a.m. for live coverage of the change of command ceremony of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. The tourism minister says the numbers are up, and that spells good news for the economy. Also tonight, the PLP chairman responds to the opposition leader's claims of an early election. And a man caught in the act of stealing from a vehicle in broad daylight. Tonight, the owner is speaking out.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping news, Prime Minister Philip Davis has wrapped up what he described as a productive series of meetings in Washington, D.C., including discussions with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. At a press conference on Wednesday following the meetings, Prime Minister Davis highlighted key outcomes, including a mutual commitment to building a fair, risk-sensitive and responsive global financial system. He emphasized the Bahamas' intention to actively participate in shaping international financial policy rather than remaining on the sidelines.
We both want to stop illicit finance. We both want strong, well-regulated institutions. And we both want rules that support trust, not drive responsible countries out of the system. The meeting gave us an important opportunity to describe for Secretary Bessent the growing problem of de-risking from the Bahamian perspective, where a small country like ours can do all the right things, but despite complying with international rules, can be cut off from critical banking relationships because of perceived regulatory complexity.
The Prime Minister also pointing to promising opportunities for future collaboration in the digital asset space, where the Bahamas has established itself as an early leader. Regional Secretary was also on the agenda, with Davis noting that the Bahamas is disproportionately affected by instability in Haiti.
The Bahamas is exposed to a disproportionate share of that risk, including increased migration pressures on our borders. We welcome the U.S. government's recent sanctions against key Haitian gang leaders, but I also made it clear this is not enough. Haiti needs solutions that address security, governance, and long-term economic development.
Well, the country is facing a slight drop in visitor arrivals so far this year, but the Minister of Tourism says there is some good news for Grand Bahama. Cleopatra Murphy has that report.
Stopover arrivals on Grand Bahama have increased 11.6% in the first quarter of 2025, despite a 4% decrease in stopover visitors countrywide. Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, defended that increase in the House of Assembly Wednesday that he says makes the island the fastest growing in-air arrivals.
As it relates to cruise, the numbers are down as a result of Margaritaville adjusting their business model.
Zero.
However, when Carnival Cruise Line opened a July celebration key, Grand Bahama is going to be the fastest growing island in cruise too.
Cooper's comments come after Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama Kwesi Thompson highlighted a drop in stopover visitors across the nation, stressing that overall arrivals for Grand Bahama were down an alarming 27.8%, according to the latest central bank report. He criticized 2 weeks spent debating amendments to the Executive Entities Bill 2025 and the Bank and Trust Companies Amendment Bill 2025 that were eventually passed, that he says were not urgent considering challenges facing Bahamians.
Bahamians are grappling with soaring food prices,
high unemployment, and widening inequality. These bills, unfortunately, will not put food on the table. They will not help pay tuition. They will not help keep the electricity on.
Thompson also expressed concern about the endless bureaucracy when it comes to doing business, suggesting an F&M government has the answers. Coper had this response.
First of all, the member has been responsible for these matters for perhaps 4.5 years. Yep. In the F&M administration that he says is the answer and is the solution. Secondly, he has been the minister responsible for Grand Bahama, I believe, for the entirety of the 4.5 years.
And they do nothing.
But I applaud his brilliance now that he is in opposition, Mr. But they have no credibility on these issues.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Well, in other news, the Progressive Liberal Party's chairman is dismissing speculation from opposition leader Michael Pintard, who claims the Davis administration may call an early general election as soon as September. He also weighs in on the opposition's call for fixed election dates. More details in this report.
The election is not due until 5 years after the date of the first meeting of the House of Assembly after the last general election.
Bold claims of an early general election are being dismissed by Progressive Liberal Party Chairman, the Honorable Fred Mitchell. This after opposition leader Michael Pintard suggested the Davis administration may call a snap election before the year ends.
Pintard, it's not his responsibility to call the election. He has no way of knowing when the election is going to be called. Only one man knows that, and there's been no indication from the man who has the authority and power to do so that there's any contemplation or otherwise of an election before the mandate runs out.
Pintard didn't stop there, accusing the government of shifting its focus to re-election messaging rather than fulfilling its 2021 mandate. But Mitchell insists the Davis-led administration is committed to completing its work.
We know that we have built houses, put people in houses. We finished the buildings that we left when we were unceremoniously dispatched from office in 2017. When we came back, they hadn't finished the projects that we left. We've gone about finishing them. They didn't build one single house while they were in office for 4.5 years. So again, the Bahamian public can judge who is more serious and who is going about doing their job.
In response to renewed calls for a fixed election that would strip the Prime Minister of discretionary power, Mitchell noted that such proposals often come from those outside of power, individuals who had the opportunity to make changes while in office but failed to act. He expressed that implementing such a law would require constitutional reform.
At this point, no one is contemplating going back to the country with a referendum on any issues of that nature. And so fixed dates of election, while sounds nice and all the rest of it, within the present system, it's not possible.
Well, it was an exciting day for male entrepreneurs as they received grants of up to $10,000 from the Small Business Development Center. Carnival Celebration Key also making a large donation to help fund the growth of Bahamian businessmen. Shalia Roll reports.
The Small Business Development Center is celebrating a major milestone as 13 men received up to $10,000 in grants, showing the Small Business Development Center's dedication for emerging businesses.
The program is about allowing our male entrepreneurs to gain access to mentorship, access to information and brotherhood, and then as well as access to funding.
Carnival Celebration Key making a generous donation to the initiative, showing support for entrepreneurs throughout the country. Additionally, Toastmasters Club 116 stepped in to offer hands-on mentorship and communication training for participants, further preparing them for the rigors of business leadership.
At Carnival, we are equally committed to our community engagement and community support as much as we are our business operations. And that's just not a talking point. I've witnessed it since my time with this company. That is why we have committed $90,000 to this initiative.
As co-chair of the mentorship committee and on behalf of Toastmasters Club 1600,
who proudly supported the mentorship program of this initiative. I want to say how proud we are of all of you.
Recipients of the grant is now sharing their excitement on the journey ahead.
Awesome. I learned so much from the program, my mentor, and all of the technical aspects of it. It really meant a lot to me. But I'm really excited, and the sky's the limit from here.
I'm grateful to receive this. I want to thank SPDC, Toastmasters, and the Carnival for this opportunity.
I'm happy not only in receiving the grant, but what I receive in terms of information and knowledge, it laid the foundation for the establishment of my business.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
From the island of Abaco, where forest fires have raged for nearly a week, forcing officials to call in extra resources. A local resident is speaking out about the toll the flames have taken. Beverly Sawyer of Marsh Harbor says the fire devastated her recently established farm, destroying beehives and claiming 3 acres of land. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has more in this report.
This was all that remained as Beverly Sawyer, a resident of Abaco, lost 3 acres of her farm and her entire bee operation to one of the many blazes here on Abaco. It was a devastating experience and one that she says she will never forget.
Sunday, when I came to work around 2 o'clock, I got a phone call that I needed to get on the farm. By the time I got to the farm, about 30 feet away from my living trailer was just blazing.
Beverly had been battling forest fires since last month, but what's most heartbreaking, she says, was when she and her farm helpers ran out of water while trying to extinguish the fire, forced to watch helplessly as it spread.
My work trailer exploded because it had 2 propane tanks in it. I mean, it was a big boom, and my tractor burned. And the fire just burned all the way around me until about, I guess it was 5 o'clock. Another friend of mine came on out, and they actually saved my chicken coops with branches.
The caretaker says that she called fire dispatcher Roscoe Thompson, who sent help, and was grateful that she was at least able to save her chicken and the coop.
So they actually chopped big branches, and because we had no water. And they just beat the fire. 2 guys beat the fire away from my chicken coops. And I had 1 coop that the back end of it burned. But, I mean, if it wasn't for friends and people helping me, I would have probably lost all of my chicken coops.
Beverly managed to also save her solar panel and generator, but the fire still claimed approximately 1,000 feet of PVC water piping. Despite the losses, she remains grateful, extending heartfelt thanks to Stephen Leader, Roscoe Thompson, and the entire Marsh Harbor Fire Department for their support during the ordeal. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Well, in news from the crime beat tonight, police at Central Police Station on Grand Bahama are busy searching for Sean Woodside in connection with indecent assault. Woodside, a resident of Murchison Drive, is of light brown complexion, stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, medium built, dark brown eyes, black hair, and weighs 215 pounds. If you spot Woodside, please approach with extreme caution and care and dial police emergency at 911, the National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430 or 1, Crime Stoppers at 352-1919, 350-3106 or 9. Family Islanders can call 300-8476. Well, also tonight, 2 men ages 71 and 36 are in police custody after they confiscated an illegal firearm. Reports indicate that it was shortly after 11 p.m. on Tuesday, May 6, 2025, when police officers and officers from the Department of Immigration executed a search warrant at a residence near Xanadu Beach area. The search revealed a firearm and a quantity of ammunition. Once again, the 2 men have been arrested, and the matter remains under active police investigation.
And still to come.
Vessels of Purpose Elite host a one-day symposium aimed at empowering future leaders. That story, sports, and more when we return.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Signature Furniture's Mother's Day sale is on. Get 20% off selected items May 8th through the 10th. Visit them on West Atlantic Drive in the Emerald Building. Browse, select, and collect. Call 688-4000. Calling all singers, musicians, songwriters, and music producers from Grand Bahama. The Ministry for Grand Bahama invites you to enter the Welcoming Home Grand Expo Song Competition. Win $5,000 for first, $3,000 for second, and $2,000 for third. Go to ministryforgb.com for competition eligibility and guidelines. Don't miss the 25% Mother's Day sale at Park & Shop this May 8th, 9th, and 10th. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, including underwear. Looking for unbeatable tech deals? Foresight IT Professionals has desktops from $298, laptops from $238, POS systems from $498, CCTV systems from $298, tablets from $148, and more. Call 602-0946 or visit number 11 4-Way Co-op Plaza today. Grand Lucayan invites everyone to the biggest and most elaborate Mother's Day Sunday brunch happening May 11th in the Grand Ballroom. Enjoy live music, food stations, giveaways, and special performances. Tickets are on sale now at the lobby. Call 373-1383 for more information.
Celebrate the incredible women in your life this Mother's Day. And don't forget the special offer from Cornet Bahamas. From April 16th to May 16th, enjoy a fantastic 35% off store-wide. That's right, everything you need to show your love and appreciation is on sale. Whether it's a heartfelt gift for mom, a treat for yourself, or something special for that amazing woman in your life, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Visit any one of our stores today. Make this Mother's Day unforgettable with Cornet Bahamas.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And welcome back. Vessels of Purpose Elite hosting their annual Girls and Women's Empowerment Encounter this past Saturday at Workers' House, held under the theme, I'm a Big Deal. The event aiming to instill confidence in young women by celebrating a life of fashion and fearlessness. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has more in this report.
Vessels of Purpose Elite Mentoring Program continues to empower and inspire young girls and women to become the best role models they can be. This past Saturday, Workers' House was transformed into a vibrant celebration of strength and style as the organization hosted its annual Girls and Women's Empowerment Encounter. The event was both a fashion show and seminar, giving mentees a chance to showcase their beauty and talent while hearing from some of the most influential women across various industries.
It's very important for us to have this event each year because we want our girls to see where they were and where they can be.
Longtime VOPE program mentor Marilyn Lang alongside model coach Malik Bow speaking to the significance of the event and the dedication that went into its preparation. Mentee and model Brianna Bullard sharing how excited she was to be a part of the show.
Because we instill core values in our girls, we think having a day like today, very important, where they get to listen to other girls their age and other motivational speakers to help them to understand that what they're doing is working.
It was really beautiful to see how from the very first practice up until the very last one, there was so much change. They became so much more confident.
With the practice each week, she teaches how to step confidently and just to have fun.
Motivational speaker Laverne Gardner, makeup guru Kaylisa Sands, and keynote speaker, COO of the Grand Bahama Power Company, Nikita Mullings, each delivering impactful messages centered on the importance of sisterhood and embracing self-worth.
It is our circle, our sisterhood, our family, our friends who help to support us and to keep us going when we're discouraged, sometimes when we don't believe in ourselves.
Just to be here to just share my personal and professional
inspirational journeys with the ladies. It's just an awesome opportunity.
I think it's important for women and young ladies to know and understand what that means. So it's about knowing their worth, knowing their value, and knowing what they bring, not just to the table, but to the community.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Yolanda Thompson, Everest.
And that's a look at stories making news. Jay, Buddy come on the court in the wrong pants last night, but they still got the win.
Buddy has been balling on Abaco, the best I've seen him play in many years now.
Absolutely.
And that team has a good look right now, looking to win game 2 tomorrow night. We'll see what happens coming up in sports.
All right, that's coming your way next, but first to check on the local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
The Ministry for Grand Bahama invites residents and Grand Bahamians everywhere to unite and celebrate our beautiful island in grand style at the Welcoming Home Grand Expo, July 2nd through 10th. It's a week of events that you cannot miss. Save the date and get ready for Welcoming Home.
We are your one-stop gift shop downtown in the Culmerville Plaza. Handbags, accessories, and fragrances for men, women, and kids. Open Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Special orders and layaway available. Call 352-9554 for more info. They got everything you need and more.
Grand Bahama, for one day only at Dolly Madison on May 10th, get 30% off all Mother's Day items. That's aisles 7, 8, and 9 from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Get your 30% off voucher. You have until 3 p.m. only to use that 30% off voucher. But from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., get 25% off the same aisle. From houseware to bathroom to bedroom, even lawn and garden to fishing to automotive. Happy Mother's Day. But starting now, spend $100 or more and fill out your ticket for a chance to win a Mother's Day basket. Mother's Day fever is taking over at Dolly Madison.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization, so if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports Top and Sports, the 4th annual Spring Fling Invitational Track and Field Meet is set for next week, Friday and Saturday, May 16 and 17 at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex.
We have about 8-9 teams coming out of Nassau, and it's going to be highly competitive. So that's for all ages. We know we're going to have a high level of competition. We have several of the top career athletes coming in town from Nassau, and along with our own top athletes in Grand Bahama. So it's going to be an exciting event.
Next in sports, the Grand Bahama Archery Club recently had some members that represented the Bahamas in Jamaica at the Caribbean Championships that resulted in 15 earned medals.
So far, we are focusing on developing our athletes. We have some athletes that we have been mentoring. They have very, very good possibilities to become the first Bahamian athletes to probably qualify to attend to an Olympic game on the sport of archery. He's an under-21 kid. He traveled from Nassau over here.
We're looking forward to having our young people in the community have access and exposure to the sport through school so that those who are willing and disciplined enough and want to continue in the sport can continue because there are academic athletic scholarships for archers.
Switching gears now in sports, Buddy Hield and the Golden State Warriors went on the road to defeat the Minnesota Timberwolves 99-88 in Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals. Coming off an impressive game just 2 days ago in Game 7 of the first round against the Houston Rockets, Buddy Hield had another impressive game, scoring 24 points on 5 of 8 shooting from the three-point line while also grabbing 8 rebounds. The Warriors will play again on Thursday, this time most likely without the services of Stephen Curry, who left the game early with an apparent hamstring injury. And finally in sports, scores from high school soccer, LIS defeated Sister Mary Patricia in junior girls play 3-0, and BMES senior girls got the win against Sunland. Final score on that one was 4-1. Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. ATC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm a survey enumerator with the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, or BNSI. For the next few months, we will be conducting the Household Expenditure Survey on various islands.
You might be wondering, why is this survey important? Well, it helps us to determine the poverty line and assess how to ensure everyone has access to the basic services they need. This information is used by the government, businesses, researchers, and students to make informed decisions and plan for the future. We know that your time is valuable, which is why we've made the survey as simple and easy as possible. And don't worry, all your information you provide is confidential.
Your participation will help us gather accurate information that will benefit everyone in the Bahamas. Thank you for your cooperation and being a part of shaping the future of the Bahamas.
Have you ever dreamed of gifting a loved one their own piece of paradise? Now, with DEVCO's groundbreaking gift initiative, you can turn that very dream into reality. GIFT, which stands for Generational Investment, Friends and Family Trust, is a simple yet powerful way to make property ownership more accessible. Contribute to the 10% down payment in person or team up with friends and family to make it even easier. You can even pay online via direct bank transfer, then submit the required form with just a few taps. The person you gift then enters a manageable 7-year payment plan, or they can pay in full anytime. Imagine the joy of giving the gift of ownership, a piece of the Bahamas, a piece of paradise, right at your fingertips. Now, you can gift for a birthday, a wedding, graduation, Christmas, or simply just because. With DEVCO's gift initiative, you're not just giving a gift, you're gifting a bright future. DEVCO, where opportunities embrace and gift ownership. Visit gbdevco.com to learn more.
Number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Be sure to tune into a special edition of the Rundown live tonight from Grand Bahama. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight coming your way next.
A new chapter awaits the Royal Bahamas Defense Force as Commodore Raymond King, who has led the organization for the past 5 years, bids farewell and makes way for his successor, Captain Floyd Moxey. Join the ZNS Network on Thursday, May 8th at 9:30 a.m. for live coverage of the change of command ceremony of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the Prime Minister breaks down his trip to Washington. We have the details of what shared goals and responsibilities following those high-level talks. Also, Dr. Hubert Minnis reveals his next move, but is remaining in frontline politics part of the plan? And what to make of black smoke from the Vatican's Sistine Chapel? The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis today returning from his high-level visit to Washington, D.C., where he met U.S. officials, Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. National security, economic resilience, and healthcare stability, some of the key topics discussed tonight. Our Devontae Hanna is live in studio with the full details on what it all means for the Bahamas. Devontae?
Yeah, well, Makushla, first off, his trip to the U.S. Capitol, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is back in country following that meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, also with several regional counterparts of the Prime Minister. One of the top issues that came out of that meeting is the United States' concern over China's involvement in the region. Take a look.
And they believe that an influence is more than just being what I call infrastructural partners. They think it has something to do with, breaching, privacy and setting up other security matters that will serve China's interests.
But Prime Minister Davis says the issue of heightened tension between the U.S. and China is not new, much like the contentious one of Cuban nurses in the region, which he says was brought up in discussions. It follows a threat to revoke visas of regional leaders by the U.S. if found that countries are involved in what they believe is an illegal workforce scheme.
We were able to say to them, and I think they were satisfied, that we are not engaged in forced labor that we are aware of. So if forced labor is occurring in our country with the Cubans, there's no evidence that we have come across.
That brought up the point of the Bahamas' declining nursing numbers due to accelerated recruitment by the U.S. and Canada, leaving a strain on the Bahamian healthcare system.
They recognize the pressure we are under, and they expressed a willingness to explore responsible frameworks for discussion and cooperation on healthcare labor.
On the economic front, the nation's leader says in his discussions with Secretary Bessent, he pushed for fairness in the global financial system. He warned that even as the Bahamas meets international compliance standards, blacklisting and de-risking practices continue to shut small nations out.
So we made it clear in Washington, the Bahamas wants to work with the United States to build a global financial system that is fair, risk-sensitive, and responsive.
Well, from gun control to economic reform to healthcare and digital information, Prime Minister Davis wanted to make it clear in Washington that the Bahamas plans to lead and not follow. Now, of course, there were also several things that they discussed, including that Artec naval base. He says that the U.S. committed to ensuring that Bahamian contractors, that is, and workers are more involved in that process. And he also discussed a deeper engagement from the U.S. on the crisis in Haiti. He says that current involvement in those efforts are simply not enough. So a lot to uncover and more we will continue to follow throughout the rest of the week. Makushla.
Well, thanks, Devontae. Well, preparation for the Prime Minister's trip to Washington, D.C. mounted by staff at the Bahamas Embassy in the U.S. capital city. Bahamas Ambassador to the United States, His Excellency Wendell Jones, underscoring the vital diplomatic relationship shared between the Bahamas and the United States, crediting the alliance for branding the Prime Minister's trip as a tremendous success. He even noted that Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, whom he says have close ties to the Bahamas, were very happy to welcome the Prime Minister.
We are very happy to have seen the level of cooperation and support that the Department of State as well as the U.S. Treasury Department gave to the staff of the Bahamas Embassy here in Washington. And it underscores the high regard that the Bahamas enjoys in the United States and the extent to which the American officials would go to accommodate us in that relationship and to make things smooth whenever we have visiting officials from the Bahamas.
In other news, an historic move for the decades-old Department of Meteorology following the signing of a multi-million-dollar heads of agreement, ultimately aimed at enhancing safety for airlines and its customers and expanding revenue streams for the government. Corville Pyfrom takes it from here. Corville?
Hi there, Makushla. Well, the Bahamas Aviation Climate and Severe Weather Network Limited, BACSWIN, promises to revolutionize meteorological services here in the Bahamas. And at today's signing of a heads of agreement here at the Office of the Prime Minister between the group and the government, they promised that in short order we will see enhanced services, including better tracking of our air traffic and also an improved life-saving meteorological services. Here now is the Department of Meteorology Director, Jeff Simmons.
The partnership between the government of the Bahamas and BACSWIN is a major step forward for our nation, and the heads of agreement that will be signed outlines a clear operational framework that will not only meet the demands for meteorological products for aircrafts in our airspace, but will also enhance the operations of the Department of Meteorology. It is important to note that the agreement with BACSWIN will not replace or diminish the valuable work of the Department of Meteorology. Our mission to deliver accurate and timely meteorological and climatological services, empowering stakeholders and the public to make informed decisions to safeguard lives, protect property, and advance research and education in the Bahamas.
Prime Minister Davis, as you all know, just back from a very busy day. He had traveled to the Washington, D.C. area for a high-stakes meeting with the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He talked here this afternoon signing about what this deal will also mean in terms of opportunities and training.
The new watch office, alongside BACSWIN's advanced weather and flight tracking technologies, will allow the Bahamas to monitor atmospheric and aviation conditions in real time across every part of our archipelago. It will place us among the most capable meteorologically jurisdictions in the region. But this is about more than new equipment or modern tools. It is about transforming a critical public institution, the Department of Meteorology, into one that is not only more effective, but more financially sustainable. One that continues to serve the public interest while opening the door to new partnerships, revenue streams, and regional leadership. And crucially, it is about investing in our people. This agreement includes the provision of at least 10 scholarships per annum.
Now, this project will all be done in phases. Its principals say that over the course of 3 years, it should generate something like $427 million. Another big thing that they are happy about telling you about in terms of this deal is that the Bahamas will soon be site to the Caribbean's first next-generation meteorological watch office. We will, of course, have lots more about today's signing coming up for you tonight at 11 on the Bahamas Tonight. Look for you then. For now, reporting live from the Office of the Prime Minister, Corville Pyfrom, back to you in studio, Makushla.
Well, thanks, Corville. Certainly an historic move for the Bahamas there. On the political front this evening, Killarney MP and former Prime Minister and FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis today ended a cliffhanger about his future in frontline politics, though he still left some uncertainty about whether that future is with the FNM. Now, last month, FNM leader Michael Pintard announced that the former Prime Minister would not be getting the party's nomination in the upcoming election, and he invited Dr. Minnis to take on other responsibilities with within the organization, promising him an elder statesman role in the next F&M administration. Well, Dr. Minnis at the time never responded to that offer, but today in the House of Assembly, he offered this insight as to his future.
I come to this place every meeting as a member of the Free National Movement. Amen. On behalf of the people of Kalani, who I have represented for nearly 2 decades. They have shown me tremendous support all these years. I remain grateful for this support. My job in this place is to give voice to them for better governance for our nation as a whole. It is a pleasure to be their representative in this place, and I look forward to continuing this representation.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. This more news in a moment.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
This one? No. Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Crunch your hunger cravings and satisfy the whole family with KFC bucket meals starting at just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large sides. Bucket meals starting at just $20. KFC, finger licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
When your hands are too full, life is just too complicated. Lala, Sally, come here. Uncomplicate. Go faster, safer, greener with the digital way to pay. With Tap to Pay, it's as easy as a gentle touch. No more headaches. Say hello to convenience. The future of pay is digital with options like credit cards, debit cards, online banking, and digital wallets. Make every experience unforgettable. Embrace the ease of digital payments today.
Portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Well, you're looking at a shot there of the sun setting on the Arawak Container Port, West Bay Street. Welcome back. A flurry of questions following recent fires across the country, but as firefighters continue efforts to extinguish those flames, so too is the Minister of National Security in terms of addressing another burning issue. Lloyd Allen has that story.
A spate of fires across the country attributed to extreme dry conditions remains a cause of concern for residents. But as officials remain alert, National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, telling reporters Wednesday that officials have not determined the exact cause behind the May 1st downtown inferno, as well as the East-West Highway fire, which engulfed AML Foods, Solomon's, and Cartwright.
On the Solomon's Department of Labor fire, I haven't received the report. I haven't seen a report on that fire as to the cause I know there was some dispute between the two parties as to what may have caused it.
Now, while the existing fleet of fire trucks was not identified as a challenge, the minister expressed a need to expand resources.
For instance, they want to order, I think it's 3 or 4 ladder trucks, because we don't have any in the capital.
Leader of the opposition, the Honorable Michael Pintard, and chairman of the Free National Movement, Dr. Dwayne Sands, have both questioned the national response and readiness to the recent fires. However, Mr. Monroe asserts that inadequacies are not at the heart of the matter.
If you know, for instance, that they're drawing water from the sea, how are you going to say they ran out of water? Did the sea dry up?
The National Security Minister also provided more insight on existing resources, particularly the availability of trained firefighters.
The fire chief of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, who is specifically trained for that. That is all he does. The firefighters who are specifically trained for that. As you had, the 30 of these young men will go to the fire branch for fire training. That is all the fire branch does. If they want to second guess our fire professionals, they're free to do that. I don't second guess trained Bahamian professionals.
And while some concerns linger, Mr. Monroe remains committed to protecting the existing system, which serves to preserve all Bahamians. Reporting from Elizabeth Avenue for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
In related news, losing a home or business to fire, heartbreaking enough, but when there's no insurance to cover the losses, that heartbreak quickly turns to financial trauma. In this next story, Desmond Saunders speaks with a leading executive who gives us insight into risk or fire insurance.
It's a known fact, but a sad reality. A quarter of local businesses do not possess risk insurance, and at least half without proper adequate coverage. A troubling trend and major concern for President of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce Employees Confederation, Dr. Leo Rowe.
While rates have been stagnant for a while, they will rise, and they will rise because of inflation, because of pressures, because of an adverse claim history, and so all of these things go into effect. But imagine not having it at all and having to replace your entire building on your own.
The recent fires that destroyed several businesses on East Bay Street brings to light the significant risk fires pose to local businesses. President of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce Employees Confederation advising employees to now implement mitigation strategies to protect against any disasters.
And so having a comprehensive business continuity plan helps, because you know from hour one what's the next step. You need to have a business continuity team, and so a list of persons that says this person deals with this, that person deals with that, and here's what we do in the eventuality. That crisis management team is important because each person knows their role, each person understands their role, and each person knows that in the event of a unforeseen circumstance, I spring into action and I get this part of my job done.
And while risk or fire insurance is a strong defense against property damage, a clean, clear crisis management plan also helps to minimize damage and facilitate a smoother recovery for businesses. Well, in the coming weeks, Roll's organization will launch its national education campaign to highlight the importance of fire risk management. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
Meantime, Environment and Natural Resources Minister, the Honorable Vaughn Miller, providing a progress report on the Abaco brush fire, one of multiple fires reported on that island in recent weeks. Gratefully, fire officials were able to contain the majority of the flames.
That fire is about 95% contained, and so I'm happy to report that. But we're always very concerned, extremely concerned about wildfires anywhere.
Miller warns the public to be cognizant of the role they play in the protection and safety of the environment, noting that fires at this time of year is not unusual. Still, everyone should cover all bases.
In my constituency, the biggest constituency in Providence, that's always been an issue. We're thankful to report that because we've set up some new transfer stations throughout the island, a couple of them in my constituency, that has helped with the indiscriminate dumping. But indiscriminate dumping, as it can relate to, and in some instances contribute to fires. Again, the issue of concern, always a concern. But we hope again to educate persons so that they would see the wisdom in not participating in indiscriminate dumping and other activities that may contribute to it.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Full Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community, also help with the education of our kids in this community, and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
What? You don't know what TDC is? Tourism Development Corporation? You mean the Ministry of Tourism? No, that ain't the same thing, but the Tourism Development Corporation helps develop and grow Bahamian businesses in the tourism industry. You hear what they say, boy? But yeah, develop and grow. You don't know what all the things they do? What does do? Hey, check the website, boy.
Start your journey to ownership of our #1 industry today. Log on to tdcbahamas.com.
Are you straight? Bro, I ain't getting no service. I can't make no calls. I can't post nothing on my stories. I don't get it.
Wait, you went on a live? Shad, come, let's fix that. Come. This one needs saving. Pour them over, please.
Say less. Sign up today. Enjoy 5 gigs on us with select prepaid plans when you port your number to Alive, or 3 months free Alive fiber services when you port your landline.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Black smoke billowing from the Sistine Chapel, Vatican City, signaling no consensus for a new pope. Some 133 cardinals retiring this evening to resume deliberations on Thursday as the 1.4 billion Catholic population await news of a new leader following the death of Pope Francis on April 21st. International reports are that Europeans dominate the conclave, while 17 of the cardinals are from Africa, home to over a fifth of Catholics. However, to elect a new pontiff, there must be 2/3 majority. It is worth noting, though, that both Pope Francis and his predecessor, Pope Benedict XVI, were elected after just 2 days. Now, when recently asked what qualities he hopes to see in the next pope, Catholic Archbishop of Nassau, Patrick Pender, restricted his comments to
a holy man. Speculation with respect to who the next pope will be has never been the task of the faithful. The task of the faithful during these days is to pray for the well-being of the church as a whole, believe the speculation of who the next pope will be to others.
Well, Dawn and Marlena join us live for a sneak peek of what's coming up in Access Now. What you got for us?
Well, Makushla, 12-year-old Amina Bain is back from Dubai. She's now the new young Miss Universe. Isn't that right, Marlena?
Yes, that's so sweet. Such a young age. You get to travel that far and represent to bring the crown home.
Yeah.
Same thing I was saying, to be 12 and to travel to Dubai.
You know, she's got me beat on the crown and the travel.
Well, stay with us. The National Report is back after the break.
Diet-friendly special.
all in this boat together. It takes a team to do it. It doesn't take one person or 3 people, 5 people. It takes a team of people to pull this thing off.
We have about 72 employees in Freeport, and the rest are in Nassau, Abaco, and Eleuthera, a total of over 165.
A lot of people are not aware that Sans is brewed here in the Bahamas. It's produced here in Grand Bahama Island after Dorian, and especially during the pandemic. Every time I saw a bottle of beer, every time I saw a Sans product, it represented resilience.
The only thing I can say to the Bahamian people is to support your own.
All of us are in this boat together, our staff, the country, everyone. And we've been through a lot of rough patches, taking on water, bail the water out, and now it's time to be sailing forward. And we need everyone's support to make that happen.
How do ideas become plans? Plans become memories.
So you like my new room?
And dreams become your life.
This is retirement.
Do you remember when hope became a house? When that house became a home? Your ideas are everything, and we're here to help make them happen. Your idea of yes, I can happens here.
Do you ever just want more?
But wait, there's Marco's! Introducing the More Marco's Mint, packed with your favorites starting at just $6. Like our warm, golden baked cheesy bread, crispy stuffed rizzoli. How about a hot, fresh, medium one-topping pizza? Subs, calzones, pizza bowls, and more. Starting at just $6. Certain restrictions apply. More variety, more value, more Marco's. Order today at Marco's Pizza, Bahamas.
That's it for the national report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm a survey enumerator